Over the past few years, so many of us have now had to start working from home, which can be complicated if you live in a house where there's more than 1 or 2 people working from home. Johnny Builds had a situation just like this and got creative, and so can you, creating his very own design for an industrial and modern dream desk. That tabletop out of pieces of laminated beech, a nice light wood with some even and consistent grain. The base put together out of flat bar steel, some of it custom cut at a friend's shop, the rest cut and then welded into place to create those cool looking legs. Next up, to create the cabinet box for the center or divider between the 2 halves of this awesome his and hers dream desk. The panels cut on the table saw to those 45-degree angles. Domino holes carved, inserted, the whole box glued and clamped up until set. The corners then checked, and it's time to start working on what goes inside the boxes for those drawers. A dado groove carved out to be able to accommodate the bottom of the drawer, and then everything countersunk, pre-drilled, and screwed together with 1-inch construction screws. Looking good, the spacing tested, and then the tabletop sanded to 120 grit, and eventually cut to the final size, given a lovely chamfer along the top and bottom edge, making it look nice and pro and a little more comfortable to lean on as well. A CNC then used to carve out some grooves where some C-channel would be used to reinforce and strengthen the table. For each of those sections, some rusty metal primer and then some black spray paint on top. And to hide that plywood edging, some edge banding carefully clamped down. Here you can see those drawer faces being carved out on the machine, and while the CNC carves those out, Johnny installs the drawer slides. Time to finally get those boxes in. Some spacers used to ensure it's just right, and who doesn't love a soft close drawer? Nice and smooth, that action. A few holes to fill, no problem. A little silicone around the outside and some black pigment mixed in epoxy resin, a total contrast to the yellow that goes on those drawer faces. Don't worry, there is a cover for them that'll cover most of the yellow. Now it's all about getting those legs right, getting them positioned properly, get everything sprayed up to the final color, in the end going with a light gray to complement the light wood. Everything then covered in some varnish before those C-channel supports were finally attached with threaded inserts, locking them in. You can see those CNC carved drawer faces now going over top, as well as these cool accents. Epoxy adhesive used to lock them into place, some of the spaces carved out or routed out for those brackets to fit, and finally some 1/4-inch back panel before everything could be put together. Like an awesome puzzle that you design yourself, Johnny certainly did in this case, and now gets to live and work the dream after having put together his very own industrial and modern dream desk. No fighting over desk space anymore.